Hey guys, so I got out the Setsu Blue mat again, which of course means that it's time for Mastemon to get her spotlight. And of course, anybody that knows me is going to know that Mastemon is probably going to be the deck that gets the most deck profiles on this channel, because anytime she gets even a little bit of support, I got to do something about it, right? So let's go ahead and kick things off. We're going to start off with your eggs. That is going to be 4 of the BT23 Niaromons. When attacking, by trashing the top or bottom card of your security, gain a memory. Very simple, straightforward. This card I was pretty cold on at first, but after playing around with it some, I've really warmed up to it. Just that extra memory really helps out, and with how much the new version of the deck is going to not only recover but just kind of cycle through everything in security, I don't really feel bad about just trashing one every now and then. All right. So next up for our rookies, we are running 4 of the BT14 Patamon. This is one of the big reasons why we're running this Niarmon instead of the draw one trash one. Um, keeping it yellow, and of course, start of your main phase, you get to look at your security, digivolve him into a level 4 vaccine for free, and then place something back in your security. And when your security is added to, gain a memory. Of course, this effect will see the first one resolve, and you can just gain an extra memory off of that. And then if you swing in afterwards, you can activate Nyaromon, gain another extra memory, and just kind of keep cycling through. And there's even a couple of cards that you might want to aim for as far as trashing them from your security. But we'll get to that in just a second. Our only other rookie in this build is going to be 4 of the BT16 Salamon, start of main phase and on play. If it's your turn, one of your Digimon may digivolve into a level 4 Digimon card with Holy Beast or free trait in the trash with the Digivolution cost reduced by 1. This is a little bit more of a recovery card to get you back in the game if something went wrong, and you're just going to digivolve into your level 4s from trash, reducing digivolution cost so that you can continue your plays and kind of just retake the momentum. All right. It digivolves for 0 over a Niaromon, which is the whole reason why is the main reason why I switched from the BT14 Tokomons that let you draw whenever security is added to. But this works out way better with a Niaromon, especially digivolve into this, digivolve for cheaper, swing in, gain another memory, all that kind of good stuff. And of course, all of your opponent security Digimon on your turn have minus 3k. So now since this deck's level 4s are pretty weak, you can just kind of go in there and be a little bit safer since you won't have jamming or anything. Next up, we're on to our level 4s. We're going to get it out of the way. 4 of the Star Deck 10 Gatomon on play, searches top 3 for a yellow and a purple card. So that's a +2. Your turn, if you digivolve into an Archangel or Fallen Angel, that's all the level 5s. Lower digivolution cost by 2. End of your turn, you get a DNA Digivolve. This card has been a 4 of in Mastemon decks since it came out. I'm sure if you wanted to, you could build a deck without this in it and it will work perfectly fine. I don't see any reason to ever do that. The on play is great. The your turn effect is great. Everything about this card is stuff that you want. I would rather you cut Mastemons than cut this card. All right, it's little. That's the only problem. 4K and hefty cost, but we have ways to mitigate or even ignore those, and that's kind of what the deck is about. It's just you get Swarm. We also run 3 of the EX6 Gatomon on play. When Digivolving, reveal the top 3, add an Angel, Archangel, or Fallen Angel to hand, and a Mirai Mikagura, bottom deck the rest of those cards. And then when attacking, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 2k for the turn. That is an incredibly useful effect to help you get over some of the bigger Digimon before you get to your level 5s, or before we get to the level 5s and their effects. And extra search in this deck. The main issue you're always going to run into with Mastemon deck is it is piece intensive. All right, so a good amount of search is going to be a cornerstone of the deck. Okay, we're only running 3 because I like to leave room for the one of BT15 Gatomon. When an effect trashes this card from the security stack, you may play it without paying the cost. So if you digivolve your Patamon, and then you shuffle and place this at the bottom of your security, you can then swing in with that stack, knowing what this is, and trash it from the bottom in order to gain that one memory and play this out to widen your board a little bit. It's got barrier, so it can stop itself from being deleted in battle. Low DP is part of the challenges of this deck. All turns, once per turn, when a card is removed from your security stack, gain a memory. All right. So as far as I'm aware, if you digivolve into this over the BT14 Patamon, the stack sees that happen, and so it will gain you a second memory. And of course, inheritable barrier. A lot of your level 5s are not very big. You need to be careful about holding on to them. Speaking of level 5s, this is one of the biggest changes in the deck, the new BT23 Angelomon. Now, she comes in and has 7 play cost, 6k. Oh, all right. Digivolves over a yellow or purple. All good. We're probably not gonna be paying that often. But what you're looking at is when you would play her, you lower her play cost by 3 if you have a Lady Devimon or Mirai Mikagura out on the field. On play and when digivolving, you add the top card of your security to hand. Then if you have 3 or fewer security, recovery +1. So if you have 0 security, you just do the recovery. All right. Inheritable is Alliance. That is basically how you're going to be punching over things in this deck. Because like I said, the DP values aren't very big. Now, since I'm kind of a defensive player, I like to run 2 of the BT11 Angelomons. When digivolving, you search your security stack to get a Angel, Archangel, or Fallen Angel. Add it to hand, and then if you did, recovery +1, then shuffle. Honestly, between this and the Patamon, that's probably going to be the effect that messes you up the most, is looking in your security and remembering if you shuffle, then do the recovery off of Patamon, or recover and then shuffle. I know I misplayed that a few times. I don't think it really mattered in any of my games, but try to remember that. And then your turn, if you play a Mirai or a Lady Devimon, you gain a memory once per turn. The big thing for me is on opponent's turn, as long as this is, let's see, while you have a purple Digimon in play, all of your Digimon with Angel, Archangel, or Fallen Angel gain blocker. Okay, so like I said, defensive options is something that I really like to have available. And for our last Angelomon, we are going to be running 2 of the EX6 Angelomon. All right, barrier to stop it from dying when somebody tries to swing over it. On play when digivolving, -2 security to something if you have a Mirai out. If you don't have a Mirai out, you play one for free from hand. And your turn, if this Digimon is an angel or 3 great angels, it gains Alliance. All right. So the EX6 and the BT23 are going to make your level 6s big. the BT11 is going to make it so that your opponent has more trouble just getting in for free checks. And this brings us up to 7 Angelwomon. Angelwomon? Angelwomons? Uh, I doubt that the Japanese person who came up with the name was really thinking of the English plurals, but all right. Now for our purple level 5s, we're going to be playing just 2 of the BT23 Lady Devimon. It's got that same effect to lower its play cost by 3, but this is if you have an Angelwomon or Mirai Mikagura out. The deck wants to be played to make your Mastemons. All right, that is the focus here. You've got Blocker, so once again, more defensive. On play when digivolving, you delete one of your opponent's level 4 or lowers, and then of course Scapegoat to stop your big stack from being deleted. I think that the 2 BT23s are just incredible. They're very good cards for the deck, very much so help you get to that end game state that you want to get to as quickly as possible. I don't think that they fully box out everything else, but they're still very good. And I don't know. I don't see the reason to run a 4 and 4 of when the Angelwomon lets me draw a single card and recover once, and then this doesn't get me anything. If I have to hard slam this out, or if I slam this out, I don't get a search. If I digivolve it, I don't get a search. It's good, and I would not say it's bad at all. I just don't think that I've seen some players who say that these are the end all be all now, and I just disagree. But I'm also running 2 of the BT11 Lady Devimons. So when digivolving, you can trash a card from your hand and grab an Angel, Archangel, or Fallen Angel trait, or a Mirai Mikagura from your trash, add it back to hand. And then, of course, once per turn, when an Angelwomon or Mirai is played out, gain a memory. Opponent's turn. If while you have a yellow Digimon in play, all of your Archangels, Angels, and Fallen Angels gain retaliation. So this is just to keep that threat up, even on your opponent's turn. If they swing in, I'm gonna try to block. If it lives, you didn't do anything. If it dies, I'm gonna try to get rid of your stuff. And even if I can't, I'm going to do what I can to remove more of your support options. And of course, since I like to search, we run 2 of the starter deck 10 Lady Devimons. So when digivolving, you can trash a card from hand, reveal the top 3, add 1 yellow and 1 purple card with Angel, Archangel, or Fallen Angel in traits to the hand, place the rest on the bottom. Your turn, all of your yellow Digimon gain retaliation. So once again, this is just to keep threatening your opponent with stuff. If you swing into something or try to swing over it, they'll have to save it multiple times. If you just need something to clear board and you have like a spare Gatomon or a spare level 3, just swing in there. All right. And like I said, this is to help you search. So you're just getting more of the cards that you need to set up your final board state. And speaking of the final board state, here's our level 6s. The big girl, 3 of the promo Mastemons. Oh boy. DNAs off of a purple and yellow combined. Make sure you put that purple up top. When digivolving, recovery +1. Then, if you DNA digivolve, you can put a Digimon or Tamer at the top or bottom of a security stack and then trash your opponents. So you can recover off of this. You can recover again if you need to, and then remove stuff from your opponent's side. You can just remove things from your opponent's side. You can Like this is explosive and this is your aggression. That's where this comes in. When attacking, when digivolving, so you can basically do this in any order, but for the when digivolvings. But also, if you pass the turn over to your opponent, you can still activate this effect because it's digivolving. You may trash one security card. By trashing one security card, you may play one purple or yellow Digimon card with 6,000 DP or less from your hand or trash without paying the cost. If it doesn't say level 6 or higher, you can play it with this. You can get those on play searches. You can do the security minuses. You can delete things. You can set up blockers. You can set up for a second stack. You can do pretty much whatever you want as far as moving this deck forward. This effect still is just amazing. I'm only running 3 because the space in the deck is very tight, and we're trying to maximize our number of options. So that is why we run 2 of the BT23 Mastemons. I know, I tried, guys. I really did. We're gonna have to settle for alt arts until I can get the golds. It'll be okay. So, BT23. Both of these, by the way, 13k, just massive bodies, right? Barrier, Partition, Angelomon, and Lady Devimon. So that means if somebody tries to swing over it, you can stop them any number of times. As long as you have security, you can stop them from swinging over. And Partition, if they try to remove you from the board, nah, I'm gonna stick around. Play out your Lady Devimon and Angelomon, get their effects off. You can go into another Mastemon if it's your turn, and if not, you can always be threatening aces. Alright? So when digivolving, you may play one level 5 or lower yellow or purple Digimon, or yellow purple card from your hand. Wait a second. Yellow or purple card? Okay. I guess that should just be Digimon card, because I don't think Tamers have levels yet. If they ever start it, I guess you'll tech in some Marcuses, and this will play out your Marcus. But yeah, play it from hand to trash without paying the cost. Then, if this Digimon has 2 or more same level cards in its stack, you trash until both players have 3 security left. Okay. So this is how we set up for going for game. You digivolve into this. You now knock your opponent down from whatever security they were at to just 3. You can alliance with this to do 2 checks, make a second stack, swing in, do more checks, and you just get to the point. Like, with all of this, you can remove 5 or more security from the stack per turn. Okay? And all turns, when security stacks are removed from, you may place one Digimon as the bottom security card. So you've trashed your opponent's security, you remove something that you don't want on the field, and then you can just swing over it anyway with Alliance. Okay? This is very much a card that boosts the aggression of this deck. All right? Now, back for the defensive options, 2 Mastemon aces. Okay? So you can blast Evo onto an Angelomon or Lady Devimon specifically. On play or when digivolving, you can play out a level 5 or lower Angel or Archangel. Then you can, if you DNA digivolve, you can take one of your opponent's Digimon or Tamers, put it to the, I think it's top or bottom. Let's see here. Not paying the cost. Yeah. Digimon card at the bottom of its owner's security stack. And then you trash until your opponent has 4 left. So you can do that on your opponent's turn. They swing in, you DNA into this, that attack misses. You can remove that Digimon, or you can remove something else that's been bothering you, place their stuff to the bottom, and just start trashing. Okay. Um, Once again, guys, this is temporary. Okay, we're all gonna be calm and cool, right? But that's it. 7 Mastemons might seem like a bit much, but with the number of level 5s and just kind of how memory efficient this deck can be now, it is incredibly just consistent. And there's so many times where I'll have 2 or 3 Mastemons out, and then I can continue to just fill up the board. Or I'll have 1 or 2 of the promos out, one of these out. We'll pass the turn. I'll have an ace ready to go, and my opponent just has to deal with this incredibly wide board full of really difficult to get rid of Digimon. For our level 7s, 1 Ordinimon. When Digivolving, when DNA Digivolving, you delete one of your opponent's level 6 or higher Digimon and all of their level 5 or lower Digimon, then recovery +1 for every Digimon deleted by this effect. On delete, you may trash 1 card from your security to play this card again for free. So she just keeps coming back. Now, she's a virus, but she's also a fallen angel, so most of your effects still work with her. But to tell the truth, the main thing for this is you trash your opponent's security down to 3. Put something from their board back, so now they're at 4. You have you swing in Alliance for 2 checks, digivolve into a second Mastemon, swing in Alliance for 2 more checks. That is all 4, and then you just flop this down, and that's game. It DNA digivolves any two of your level 6s together in any order you want, because they're all yellow purple, so you put whichever one you want on top, and then you just swing for game. I did that a couple of times this week in the videos you're going to see later on, but honestly, this is just the ace in the hole, and if you ever get to a point where you need that recovery, board wiping your opponent in order to get it is kind of a pretty big power move. All right, so we're going to go to the options. 2 Amber Memory Boost. It's got Angelomon and Lady Devimon right on there. Purple solves its color requirements, and you reveal top 3, add a yellow or purple Digimon card among them to the hand, then delay, gain 2 memory off of its delay. Search and extension. That's what you want, that's what you got. Okay, I only run 2 because of how many other search effects are in the deck right now. But to help clear my opponent's board of anything troublesome, we're running 2 Chaos Degradations. Okay? Does the same thing it's always done and is a menace. Alright? Place one of your opponent's Digimon as the top or bottom of their security, and then trash the top card of their security. Security effect, you may place one of your opponent's Digimon as the top or bottom security card. I love seeing this in security, and having this as just an option for those Digimon that say, oh, immune to Digimon effects. Yeah, well, they aren't immune to that, so they go bye-bye. 2 Flame Hell Scythe. It doesn't really come up too much, but you get the -6k, and then you play out a yellow or purple Digimon with 6k or less. That's all of your level 5s and all of your level 5 and lowers. Okay, so anything you're missing, you play this out. You can use it to remove certain Digimon, and of course, as a defensive option, if it gets checked in security, it does the same thing. So you minus 6k to remove one of the smaller Digimon, and then you play out your EX6 Angelomon to -2 security to something else. Saves your life. We are only running one Calling from the Darkness. It is still at 1. You delete one of your Digimon, then return up to 2 purple Digimon cards from trash to hand. If you overextended or had to trash something that you didn't want to, or if you just need to trigger some effects, there you go. Security effect just to add it to hand. 1 cost. It can also be used to choke your opponent. Alright. And of course, we'll be running 2 of the BT23 Mirai Mikageras, 2 of the EX6 Mirai Mikageras, and 2 of the BT11 Mirai Mikageras. So, starting with the main phase, you can bottom deck this Tamer to play out one of these 2 for free. Very useful, especially since these two are much more expensive, and even that 1 cost extra can be brutal. All right. On play, by trashing a card with Angel, Archangel, Fallen Angel, or Holy Beast, or CS trait from your hand, draw 2 cards. Everything in the deck that has the CS trait has the Angel, Archangel, or Fallen Angel trait, and or you can trash another one of these Tamers. So we run 2. This one, your turn. When one of your Holy Beast, Archangels, or Fallen Angel trait Digimon is played, you can suspend this to gain a memory. Then one of your Digimon may Digivolve into a Angelomon or Lady Devimon from trash with a Digivolution cost reduced by 2. And end of turn, you get to you can DNA once per turn. Okay, so if you hard play a Gatomon, you search, grab what you need, use this effect, Digivolve for cheaper. It stacks with the starter deck 10 Gatomon, so you can Digivolve for free into a Angelomon, Lady Devimon, whatever you're needing, and you gain a memory. So Star Deck 10 goes from being a 5 cost to a 4 cost, and you can do other stuff to lower that even further. For example, the BT11 Mirai, start of your turn, gain a memory. Simple, beautiful, I love it. As long as your opponent doesn't set you to 10, you're always going to gain a memory off of this. Your turn, when you have 1 Digimon on the field, and you can, or it's 1 or less. I don't know how you would do this effect with less, but you, if you Digivolve into a Lady Devimon or Angelomon, you can suspend her to play the other one. So if you have one of each of these out, this is Mastemon. All right, you hard play either Gatomon, Digivolve it for a reduced cost, gaining a memory, then suspend this to play out the other Digimon, whichever one you needed. Then, even if it's not starter deck 10, end of turn, DNA, Mastemon. Mastemon comes out, does her whole thing. If you used this to Digivolve into one of the BT11s, you can actually take back turn, because when you play the Lady Devimon or Angelomon off of this effect, you'll gain another memory. So if your opponent sets you to 2, you can hard play Star Deck 10, gain a memory off of this, Digivolve for free, play for free, gain another memory, go into Mastemon, do some effects. You can remove stuff. This is it's a very satisfying combo to go from nothing on board to suddenly you've cleared your opponent's board because you had two tamers out. All right. Um, so that's all of that. Okay. So this is without doubt one of my favorite decks. I'm working on getting it max rarity. Just a few cards need the treatment, but this is amazing, especially with the new options. Um, the only thing I'm thinking about changing is I might cut two of the Salamon in order to put in two of the Tapirmon that block your opponent's memory. I found this, while this is a great card to recover or to exploit your opponent going in for some early damage and getting unlucky with security checks, I think that there's more to say about slowing down or stopping your opponent from doing stuff. And that can even be a flex spot, so you can put it if your at home meta has other people playing Digimon, put in Pillowmon. If everybody's using trainings and scrambles all the time, that would that's the case for Cutemon. All right. um, and I mean, this is liable to change. The best part about Mastemon, in my opinion, is always that there are so many options to it. You can swap out how many level fives that you run, what types of level fives you're running. You can change the number of level sixes. You can add additional level sevens. There's option cards. There's tamers. Um, and of course, strategically, it is a really great option that your opponent, who does not practice with the deck all the time, now has to keep up with. Okay, what does this Mastemon do? All right, but what's the stack underneath it do? Okay, well, what's this Mastemon do? What's the stack underneath that one do? Okay, why does who's giving them blocker? Who's giving them retail? Who's giving them scapegoat? Who's giving barrier? Who has barrier? Um, the mind games that you can play with this deck are amazing. And once again, I'll probably say it every time that I post a Mastemon video. That is an advantage to the deck, that you can just kind of rely on your opponent to not memorize everything as much as you have. But at the same time, remember, you're here to play fair. You never lie to your opponent. Okay? If they ask about open information, just let them know. Because I guarantee if they say, "Hey, what's this Mastemon do?" If they aren't making a move exactly at the end of your explanation, then they're about to forget. They're going to swing in, and you'll block with this, and they say, "Okay, I swing over it," and you just say, "All right, barrier." No, you don't. All right, and that's also a beautiful sight. Just your opponent immediately like, "Oh yeah, you did say it was barrier." Okay, but enough gushing. This is the deck. Hope you guys enjoy. Like, comment, subscribe, and if you have any suggestions for changing out any of the ratios, or if you want anything further explained, feel free to leave comments down below, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. All right, thanks.